Hello friends, good morning. So let me share my screen on WebEx also, then I will start today's meeting.
Oh brother, oh brother.
I'm sorry for that. So people who are on YouTube live, if you want to discuss with me, please join the WebEx meeting. Let me give the URL to you. So it's in the YouTube live chat on the top right corner. I have provided the link. So if you want to discuss anything live, you can join the WebEx meeting. Meanwhile, let me share my screen in the WebEx also, then I will start today's meeting. So can someone from WebEx confirm that you guys can see my screen and also hear me? Okay, thank you. So, so a couple of weeks back, I have started this workshop for big data certifications, and there will be this bi-weekly meeting where I will be interacting with you live and clarifying your questions. So before getting into the Q&A session of today, let me explain about my platform, because last time when I tried to do this, there were some issues on YouTube live. So I hope there are no issues today. If Let me confirm that. I'm confirming on YouTube whether they can hear me or not. Hello guys who are on YouTube live, can you confirm that you can hear me? Okay, thank you. Okay, so let me explain about the platform. So ITversity is a Dallas-based startup. The company has started almost a year back. Before starting the company, I started the YouTube channel. That's where I have started my journey of training the people. So the channel name is ITversity, wherein I have created a lot of content. You can go to the playlist and see there are uh, uh, playlists. Playlist is nothing but a series of videos to learn something, and the main playlists are categorized under big data certifications. If you go to my ITversity website and if you click on these big data certifications, you will see all the playlists that are available as of today. There is one more playlist which I need to add. There are 7 playlists with respect to certifications. Some of the certifications I have 100% material. Some of them I don't have 100%, but I will be taking care of it very soon. But one drawback with YouTube channel is you have the video content, but if you want to refer something, it is very challenging. Now that's where I have started a website called itversity.com. Sorry. Wherein I have created the content in the form of courses. I started creating the courses out of the video contents which are already published, and there will be a section called certification courses. If you click on that, you will see the current existing certification courses here. I'll be adding more courses going forward. As of now, I have 3 courses. This one is 100% complete, this one is 90% complete, and this one is 60 or 70% complete. I will take care of creating the content after I redesign the website. I'm in the process of redesigning this website. Once it is done, I will start uploading more and more content in this website. And if you click one of the course, this course is nothing but a group of lessons, and these lessons are created based upon the published curriculum of the given certification. And I try to make it as interactive as possible, and there are videos which are already in the YouTube to provide the explanations of complex concepts. So if you follow this course, eventually we should be able to prepare for the certification. And then while preparing for the certifications, obviously you will get some technical issues, and they need to be clarified as quickly as possible. So even though that most of the content is free, we are also providing free support in case of any issues using a website called discuss.itversity.com. So this is nothing but a forums kind of website wherein you can actually create the topics, and we will be clarifying the topics. So we have videos in YouTube, the content in the form of courses in website, and the support is provided by discuss.itversity.com. On top of this, performing hands-on with respect to big data is expensive because you need to have 16 GB laptop, which is almost like $1,500, which is very expensive for most of the developing countries standards. And also, even if you have 16 GB laptop, getting the confidence dealing with the big data is not that easy. For that reason, I just launched something called bigdatalabs.com. This is almost 2 months old. It's free till December 31st. I might extend a little bit. After that, it will be $14.99 per month or $32.99 per quarter, and then $54.99 per half year for 6 months. So you can access the lab for free till the preview period is done, and then you have to pay the subscription fee if you want to practice. So here, if you need to sign up, and all the instructions are given here. And let me explain the size of the cluster. It's a state-of-the-art cluster. It has 32 GB RAM on each of the machine, and as of now, there are 7 nodes in the cluster. Eventually, I will be adding more nodes, especially for every 500 or for every 1,000 subscribers, active subscribers will be increasing more and more nodes to the cluster. So this is the these are the details about cluster. If you once you sign up to the lab, you will get access to this Ambari in read-only mode. And if you click on hosts, you will see the nodes in the cluster. Each one is 32 GB, and there are 8 cores on each of the node. And we have almost all the components that are required for the preparation of the certifications. So these are the 4 different components of our platform, which will provide you continuous learning. Especially, we will emphasize a lot on certifications so that you can prepare for certifications and clear the certifications. And when it comes to the material, it's good quality material. If you go to my LinkedIn group, there's a group called Itversity Certifications. It started around a year back, and if you go to this group, it's 2,112 member group, and you can go through all the discussions that are being happening on this, and most of them are about clearing the certifications. I used to answer technical questions in this group, but now I am encouraging people to come on to the discuss.itversity.com for any technical questions, but you can give feedback about the curriculum and all on this LinkedIn group also. But for all technical questions, it's better to the discuss.itversity.com. And also, I once in a while I take the survey in the group to fill a document about the guys who cleared the certification, and I'm opening that now, and I will show the report, how many people have cleared what kind of certifications and all. Okay, so far 102 people acknowledged, but I am expecting at least there will be 200 to 250 people who cleared the certifications, because I just started this one 3-4 months back. Before that, it was not there. So let me go to the report. Here is the report. you can see there are 70 people who cleared CCS Spark and Hadoop Developer, and 8 on CCAH, Cloud as Certified Administrator of Hadoop, and then 18 on HDP Certified Developer, and one person HDP Certified Developer Spark, 7 people HDP Certified Administrator, and there are few folks who cleared the other certifications also going through my content. So this is about the details about the platform and also the feedback. So the primary goal of these workshops are every 2 weeks, if you have any complex questions which cannot be addressed as part of the forums and all, we can discuss as part of this. Sometimes you might get into some technical issues. I might have to do the screen sharing and resolve the issue. So the purpose of this meeting is that every alternative Sunday night US time, I have this meeting for big data certification aspirants, and other Sundays I have interaction with college going students. So I'm trying to build a pool around 500-600 college students and train them in big data, cloud, DevOps, in several areas. As of now, we have content and lab ready for big data. We want to venture into cloud also. So that being said, now I can take up the questions. Let us start with the WebEx, and then we'll come back to YouTube Live. Whoever is on YouTube Live, if you guys want to ask any questions, you can join the WebEx invitation. So here is the link, and you guys can ask the question directly. So before taking the other questions on WebEx, let us answer this question from Anand in YouTube. He asked me what is course all about. So it's all about big data certifications. You can come up with any big data certification, and I will try to answer your questions based on any of the big data certifications. It could be developers, it could be administrator courses. I will give 15 minutes time for the Q&A. After 15 minutes, I will go back to a blog where I explain all the certifications that are available in big data, and how we can help you guys to clear the certifications. So on WebEx, if you guys have any questions about the platform, we have 4 components: YouTube for videos, itversity.com website, discuss.itversity.com forums, and then bigdata-labs.com lab. If you have any questions on these 4 areas, you can go ahead and ask, and then I will go back to what all certifications that are available as of today in big data world, and we will see if you have any questions after that. So people on WebEx, either you can unmute yourself and ask the question, or you can actually ask in YouTube, in the chat also.
Hi, Gulkar. This is Hemprasad here.
Yeah, Hemprasad. Yeah, I can hear you. Samir have asked the question. Let me answer that question. I will come back to you. So people who are on WebEx, if you are asking via chat, please ask by changing to everyone. Instead of asking me privately, please change it to everyone, so that even if I forget to read out the question, they will have the context. So here the question is, can you elaborate a bit on type of questions will be received on Python or Scala? Will they ask us to fill in the blanks for the existing code and then execute? So it depends upon what certification you want to give. CCA certification, yes, they give kind of fill in the blanks, and you have to fill those things. And as per my understanding after speaking to others, is that there will be a shell script which will be invoking your Python program or Scala program, and that program, there will be some blanks. You have to fill those blanks, and you have to execute the shell script. You don't need to write the shell script. You just have to execute a shell script which will invoke the program, and that program file will have some of the blanks which you need to fill, and that's how you should respond. Okay, so let me go back to the Hemprasad. Hemprasad, you can ask the question now.
Because I booked my exam for Wednesday, so the same question, right, for Python and Scala.
Mhm.
So it's just the fill in the blanks. So I have to just know the syntax, what function or what filter or whatever it is, right? Those things I have to just fill in that and do it. That's it. Because I was not sure. I saw your Scoop shell scripts or Hive shell scripts, right?
Yeah.
So, but in Python and Scala, so just fill in those on the .py. And for Scala, I didn't know how it is it going to run on Spark Submit or is it just like Spark Shell? I was not so clear.
That also I'm not sure, especially with respect to CCA 175. I think they might be submitting the Scala program directly, or they might give. So you know EOF, right? EOF in yeah. So probably the shell script might have EOF, wherein your Scala program will be passed on to your shell program, and your shell program will execute as part of the Spark shell. I don't think it will be a Spark submit, because to use Spark submit, my understanding is you need to build a jar file. And as of today, no one told me that they have built a jar file as part of the certification. So most likely, I am expecting that as part of the shell script, they might be doing EOF uh, to the program, which you have to fill in the blanks, and that will execute the content of the program.
Okay, and
So-
one more question is on Hive, right?
Uh-huh.
So is it just going to be creating of partitions or tables and or loading of data into Hive, right? So
Ye-
those are the basic, right? You're not going to have complex queries to join and get results, those type of things, right?
Yeah, so as part of the published curriculum, they do not emphasize on SQL. They only mention about DDL and a few other things. Let me show the curriculum. So my material is based out of the curriculum. If they go beyond the curriculum, then definitely there will be some gaps. But as per the curriculum, yeah.
Mhm.
So
And
let
the last question is,
yeah, go ahead.
so after this, right, wanted to check, is there any courses or anything that is available for data analytics, right? Like R and stuff. Like, is there any certification that you recommend to do for us to do and stuff?
So if you want to get into data science after doing CCS, Spark, and Hadoop developer, I would recommend to go to any college-based part-time courses, because you need to get good expertise in statistics, mathematical algorithms, and all. And you should go to a professional course. It will be a long term. There are no magic bullets. It will take at least 6 months to 1 year to complete those courses, and then you can start planning about becoming a data scientist. But if you want to be a technology guy, I do not recommend to go to any courses. Probably you can practice R up to some extent, but don't get into too much of the algorithms, because it will waste a lot of your time. As long as see, data science is a specialized role. If you want to be a technical guy who want to do the ETL to get the data, then data scientist will tell what data he want. You get the data the way he want, and he will run the algorithms on top of it. So if you know R and all, it will be easier for you to communicate with that guy, because most likely data science might have some knowledge about R. And then at that time, you might be able to understand few algorithms which are relevant for that project. So data science is a completely specialized field. You have to choose between complete technical big data guy or big data engineer, or you want to be a data scientist. To become data scientist, you don't need to learn Spark and all. It's better to start with mathematics, understand statistics, algorithms, and then learn little bit of R, understand there is a ecosystem called Hadoop and what all components are there. That is enough. So technology is the least important thing if you want to become data scientist. There are three things you need to focus to become data scientist. First one is mathematics. second one is domain, and third one is technology. And technology is least important of the three.
Okay, because that I'm trying to be like a consultant or an overall consultant, like an architect stuff.
Okay.
So the reason why I have my Hadoop administration certification. So once I do this,
Yeah. So what I will recommend is on the data science also, just to explore two algorithms, 2 or 3 algorithms, one simple one and one complex one, one medium one, so that you know how to interact with data scientists. As a consultant, you have to be a liaison between different groups, or as a solutions architect, you have to liaise between different groups. One of the stakeholder could be data science, and if you have knowledge of few important algorithms, it might come handy for you. But don't dig too much into it.
Well, so I wanted to understand R and just do applied statistics on we using R.
Yes, R. I started little bit of content on R sometime back, but there are so many pending playlists in my channel. I will try to close them out. And also I am planning to come up with RStudio on the cluster, on the lab. So at that time, I will try to come up with some of the important features of R also.
Okay, got you. So that's my plan. So when I say I'm giving the exam, so I had these questions, so that's why I joined. And
okay, what is your name?
M. Prasad Durga.
Okay, then best of luck for your exam.
Thanks, Durga.
Yeah. So
thank you.
Sure. So the next question is from Shashank. Please share any documentation that explains about Spark import declarations into Scala IDE. Yeah, so there is already a lot of content on my website. I hope you are able to see the screen, Mr. Shashank. So if you go to itversity.com and click on all courses, there is a Big Data Engineer Immersion course. While opening it up, I'm answering Prabhakar Guha's question: is Scoop 2 required in CCA 175? No, Scoop 2 is not required for CCA 175. So coming back to Shashank's question, either you can go to HDP CD Spark Scala, or you can go to Big Data Engineer Immersion. And here, you can go to Apache Spark with Scala. There are all the instructions: set up Scala and SBT, set up Scala IDE for Eclipse. Here you will see how to integrate your Scala IDE with Spark using SBT. I will create few videos with Maven also very soon. Okay, so that is the question from Shashank. And now Abhishek, can you please elaborate on the new category Tawant created in the forum? Yeah, I have given corporate training for 2 weeks in Tawant. So that category is primarily created for them, and they only can respond. Others can view, but they only can respond. So there are exercises which I have given to them. And if you like that, probably from next session, I will be creating one exercise per week, which can be useful across the spectrum. Okay, so it will be a little bit complex exercise wherein you can practice and come up with the responses as part of your preparation for the certification. Okay, so next question from Manoj. I don't think you have to submit using Spark submit command. They will give you a Python script, and that Python script needs shell script, and that shell script needs to be executed, which will actually run the underlying Scala program or Python program. You don't need to build the jar. Yeah.
So Durga, how do we run that shell script? Like
as any other shell script.
Like if you can give me an example, I just got confused there.
Yes. So if you go to the Big Data, CCA certification playlist, So towards the end, running applications as shell programs. So if you go through that, you will know. So I did not emphasize on Scala, sorry, on Spark. I have shown how to execute a shell script which have Hive program and Scoop program. Same thing applies even for Spark. It's a regular shell script in which you will have this Spark command, necessary command to execute the Spark-based Scala program or Python program. You just have to run as a regular shell script. That's it. And you can go through this to understand.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure. So the next question is from Giri. Will Cloudera provide the MySQL JDBC connection URL for connecting to MySQL? Yes, they should provide. Otherwise, you will not be able to connect. Probably they might have. So whatever IP addresses they give it to you, you try to use them if they don't provide. Okay, but ideally they should explicitly say that MySQL is running on this host. They might not provide the JDBC connection URL. You have to build the connect URL. But using the host name, port number, and database name, you should be able to connect using username and password. Okay. And then there's a question about difference between Spark context and Spark session. I never heard about Spark session. I heard about Spark context and Spark configuration. So I don't know what is the Spark session. Okay. And then Samir have asked JDBC, can you guide me on the various type of JDBC connection URL? So you just have to explore based on the database. So whenever you try to connect to a database, they will provide the instructions about how to connect to that database. And as part of the CCA exam, it will be primarily MySQL, because if you go to this curriculum, they have emphasized import data from a MySQL database into HDFS and export data to a MySQL database from HDFS. So they will emphasize on MySQL only, unless they change the curriculum. Okay, when it comes to Oracle and all, when you actually download the jar file of the Oracle, you will be able to figure out. You just need to understand how to build the JDBC URL based on host name, database name, service service identifier or service, I forgot, service name, etc. Okay, can everyone go on to the mute? I can hear the keyboard typing sound. Please go on to mute. Okay, let me do this. I'm stopping sharing so that I can mute everyone. Yeah, now I'm sharing the screen again. So let me take some questions on the YouTube live, and then I'll come back to this. So in YouTube live, there is only one question from Jay Prakash. The question is, do we have practice questions banked for CCAH exam? No, we don't. We will not have any practice questions because I don't know the proper scope of the questions and also how to frame those questions. There's a risk that once we start publishing the questions, people might bring the questions from the exams, and it can cause some issues for the people. I don't want to get into that. You just have to practice as much as you can, and then go and give the exam. If you have any questions while practicing, I will be able to help you. But we don't maintain any question banks for any of the exams. So Giri is asking, once the free lab review is over by 12/31, what will be the cost of bigdatalabs.com? It will be $14.99 or $15 per month, $33 per quarter. sorry, $35, 33 or 35. We haven't decided the pricing yet, but in that range per quarter, and $55 per half year. So if you go for a quarterly subscription, it will be approximately $12 per month. If you go for half yearly subscription, it will be approximately $9 per month. Okay, so that is the pricing. And Raghavendra is asking, data frames is out of course as per your channel. Is it true now also? Yes. The way to validate is go to the curriculum and see here. Not emphasize on SQL as part of the Spark. They are only saying how to load data from HDFS how to load data from between HDFS and Spark, joining the data sets, calculating aggregate statistics, filtering the data, and write a query that produces ranked or sorted data using Spark. So they primarily emphasize on the transformations and actions, not on the data frames. Okay. So next question is from Vijay on WebEx. How does the exam environment work? Guess it is not through a VM and need a system with 8 GB or more RAM. That is correct. It will be better to go through FAQs. I think you should have at least 4 GB RAM and 64-bit operating system. I'm not sure. You can go to the FAQs and you can understand. And the exam will be on a cluster. You will be doing a remote desktop onto a Linux environment where you will have everything. You will have browser, you will have Sublime Text, you will have terminal. It's a remote Linux-based desktop which will be acting as client or which will be having access to the cluster on which you have to perform the exam tasks. Okay, so as long as you have good internet connectivity and 4 GB machine, I think you should be good to go with most of the certifications, especially from Cloudera and Hortonworks. So the next question is, how do we build the HDFS complete URL? I'm mainly asking about port number. It's pretty straightforward. If you are on one of the nodes on the cluster, you can go to coursesite.xml file. So for example, here I am connecting to my lab. Okay, you can actually go to etc. You can ask this question anytime on forum. We will be able to answer these questions immediately. Okay, you can go to this location and you can go to coursesite.xml. The location is etc Hadoop conf, and then you can open coursesite.xml, and this is the URL. You can just copy paste this URL to connect to connect to the name node of the cluster. Sometimes you should be able to connect to the other name nodes also. At that time, you need to know the IP address and port number. There is no easy way. If the node is part of the cluster, you can directly go to coursesite.xml and get the details. But if you are connecting to some other cluster using name node, then you need to know the IP address and port number. Typically, port number is 8020. And the next question is from Nikhil. In CCA 175, questions are independent, or they are following flow. They are following flow, like one question result is input to second. As of now, I didn't hear that there is a dependency between the questions, but they can change anytime in future. So better be prepared on as many areas as possible rather than taking chances. Okay, if it is HDP CD, it is dependent. I mean, questions are interdependent, but CCA 175, as of now, the feedback is that there is no dependency between the questions, but it might change anytime. So be prepared for the dependencies. Okay, now let me go back to the YouTube live and see if there's any additional questions, and then I'll come back to WebEx. So Ravitej is asking what areas we have to mainly concentrate for clearing CCA certification. I don't know the Spark and Java. What extent of Java needed for certification? Java is not required. You need to learn Spark and go through this course, and you will be able to clear the certification. Okay, so this is the link for the course. It covers all the areas which are required for CCA certification. And now I'm going back to the chart of WebEx again. And Sachin is asking, one of the sample question requirement is to convert input date which has inconsistent format to be converted into MMDDYY format while storing into Hive Metastore. I think this is not CCA 175 question. This is CCP data engineer question. Okay, I don't know from where you got that sample, but I have seen similar question in CCP data engineer. So CCP data engineer is at different level. So don't mix up these two things. If you go to CCS Spark and Hadoop developer, when it comes to Hive, they are saying read and or create a table in the Hive Metastore in a given schema. So you just have to know the create table commands as part of this. And then create a table in the Hive Metastore using the Avro file format. You need to know this. And then you have to know how to create partition tables. So these three are the main questions, main criteria for CCA. Yeah, CCP is a little bit complicated. You have to practice as much as possible, and there will be dependency between multiple questions. So I think I started on that, but I haven't finished. I will try to finish as quickly as possible. So the next question is, could you please advise? Okay, again, this is the continuation to the previous one. I will let you know. As of now, I don't have, or I don't remember on top of my head, and it will be tough to clarify this. If you want, you can actually post it in discuss.iitversity.com, and I will try to come up with the solution. This is for Sachin. And then Shailaja is asking, do you have playlist for CCA data analyst certification? No, not yet, but we will be creating the playlist very soon. Shashank,
Hi, sir. Shashank here.
yeah, so there is, yeah, go ahead. What is these import statements?
Actually, like I want any documentation that like explains these import declarations we give in Scala IDE. You know, I tried to write a program
Okay.
to do a group by on a file, but actually, like I got some code from online on Stack Overflow.
Okay.
So what it shows is like from the data frame after group by, you can do some show so that you can it can displays it can output the content of the data frame.
That's correct.
But to use the show, but we have to import something because it's not working with my Scala IDE.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm missing to import. So that's why I want to I want a detailed document that explains about this.
Yeah, so you can actually, if you are seeing my screen, there is a section called data frames and operations. Okay, so if you click on this, there are videos which will explain. If you want to know Spark context and configuration, first you have to watch this one, Spark context and configuration. It's under Apache Spark with Scala, Spark context and configuration. And for data frames and operations, you can click on this one under Apache Spark Data Frame Scala. And here you can see everything that needs to be imported. And actually, you can see the full program at the bottom. Okay, so you can actually run this using Scala IDE. Okay,
sir.
And also, yeah, go ahead.
Do you have any, the basic what is material that explains what is that import for this operation? We have to import this libraries, or like that, anything?
Yeah, so this explains everything. So there is nothing like you have to explore the which package needs to be imported for what. Okay, so for that you just have to go to the official documentation. This explains everything. So there is. Okay, so you can see here all the SQL will be part of. So data frames is kind of SQL. Okay, so they might have included all the packages required for data frames under SQL dot underscore and some of them under SQL dot functions dot underscore. So this is importing all the SQL functions, and this is importing all the regular SQL classes. Whatever is required to run your SQL, whatever classes and or APIs that are required are imported using this one. Okay, so to build the logic about which needs to be imported, what you have to start with this base package, which is org.apache spark, and then you have to understand the layout. And you don't need to understand upfront. You can explore as and when the situation demands for you. So the base package starts with org.apache.spark, and in that you can go through different classes and packages which are available, and you have to you have to import those packages to use them as part of your program. It is ad hoc in nature, and you should be able to understand as and when the situation demands.
Okay, sir. If I type like org apache.spark, and I can find something that explains all the packages.
Yeah. So there is
inside that
there is a API documentation. So if you go to Spark documentation 1.6.2, you can see API docs. Click on Scala, and here you can see all the APIs. So you can start exploring from here.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
So the next question from Samir: any tips on time management during exam? Yeah, I will highly recommend you guys to get familiar with Linux desktop. Make sure you understand that it is same as Windows. You will have a Firefox browser. You should know how to zoom in, zoom out, because the resolution is very low. Some of the people are complaining about that. You should know how to go to the preferences and change the resolution if required at the time of certification exam. You should try to use Sublime Text to edit the programs rather than doing from VA editor. So just get used to the Linux based environment on top of the skills required to clear the certification. I don't know about how much time you should allocate for Scoop, Spark, etc. It's a 2-hour exam and 10 questions. So it's approximately 12 minutes for each question. As long as you do not make any mistakes, they will be straightforward. It will not be very complicated. And Subbu to everyone, after completing the CCA certification, what is the next area we have to target on? So you need to understand the big data ecosystem and try to build as many skills as possible. Probably Kafka is a good technology which have a lot of traction. If you are highly experienced person, probably you should emphasize on cloud. Amazon EMR, Elastic MapReduce, which is Hadoop, but which is used in a different manner. So you have several things under the big data ecosystem. You have to keep on adding as many skills as possible until you get into the project. Okay, so the next question is from Balamurli. What is the certificate that we need to do if we want to be Java and Spark Hadoop developer? And your videos shows the way to install VMware. Do you have video on installing VirtualBox and Cloudera Quick Start? I have few videos on VirtualBox. They are not significantly different. If you run into any issues on VirtualBox, you can raise it on discuss.itversity.com, and I will try to explain those issues. One thing which you need to one issue which you will run into on VirtualBox is ability to copy using SCP commands, and I know how to work around that, and I will be glad to help you if you write the question on discuss.itversity.com. Other than that, everything else is same. And with respect to Java and Spark Hadoop developer, there is HDP-CD Java exam which you can take. You can go here onto my channel. If you go to the channel homepage, click on Big Data Certifications. You can see here Hadoop certifications, HDP certified developer. It's 80% complete. Still there are some gaps which I need to close. So you have to take this certification, and then you have to take either CCA 175 or HDP-CD Spark to cover both Java and other technologies in big data. Abhishek, could you please share or create some playlists with respect to ETL? There is a playlist. It is called as EDW. You can search for ITversity EDW, and there is a playlist which will cover data warehouse, not just ETL. I didn't cover end-to-end ETL about how to automate and all those things, but I have covered the role the big data technologies play in building enterprise data warehouse. You can go through this and you will get some idea. Okay. So the next question, knowing Sublime is required or VA editor is okay for CCA 175. No, VA editor is fine. If you know VA editor, that is fine. Sublime is much better editor. Means it's like Notepad, Notepad++ or TextPad or Ultra Edit. And for you, it will save time. If you're not familiar with VA editor, it's better to go with Sublime than VA, so that it will be easier for you to make the modifications. It's like a regular text editor than complex Linux-based editors such as VA. Will getting familiar to Ubuntu help? Ubuntu or CentOS, as long as you know how to access the desktop on Linux-based environments, will help a little bit. Shashank is asking how many and what are the type of questions that will be asked in HDP-CD Spark exam? What level will be the questions? So very good question for which I don't have answer, because unlike other HDP-CD exams, they didn't give the practice exam for Spark exam. So for that reason, I don't know how the questions will be. I haven't given the certification yet, but the curriculum emphasizes on several things. If you go to exam objectives and see here, it's primarily divided into two parts: Core Spark and Spark SQL. Okay, and you have to write end-to-end program. It's not like CCA where they will give the code snippet and you have to fill the blanks. Here you have to write. You have to choose the programming language. It could be Scala or Python. You can take the exam either in Scala or Python. Once you decide to go with particular programming language, you have to answer all the questions end-to-end using the programming language you have chosen. So HDP-CD Spark is a little bit complicated than CCA 175 when it comes to Spark. Okay, it's not only about Spark, but also you have to be as familiar as possible with the programming language. Okay, and if you go back here and if you look at details about practice exam, we do not currently have a practice exam, so we don't know how many questions will be there for sure. Okay, so the next question is thank you sir for your time and help. Please start the online training batch as early as possible. Sure, I will try to. And Ram is asking, for experienced person like 18 years, what path do you suggest to get into big data or cloud? So I would recommend both. If you are a tech guy, I will recommend you to explore both big data and cloud. Do AWS certification on the cloud, and a couple of certifications in big data. That will definitely help you your career than only focusing on one. we can take it offline. You can actually call me. I will share my number if you ping me on training@itversity.com. If you send me an email, I will share my contact number and we can discuss further about this. So my email ID is training@itversity.com. So the next question is from Sharon. So that's it. Don't ask any more questions on WebEx. After wrapping up all the questions, I will go to the YouTube live and I will take the questions and then we'll come back. Okay. Last question will be from Jagdish. But before that, let me take the other questions before I come to I come to the last question. So Sharon is asking, I have basic knowledge about big data, but I don't have any experience in this field. I am a MS student from Chicago. Is it okay to start with CCA 175 as the first certificate? Yes, that should be your first certificate. If you don't have any specialized courses as part of masters. If you have specialized courses in masters, probably just to prepare for it. Whether you want to give it or not, it's a different story. But at least prepare for it. That way, you will get more comfortable in facing interviews and all. And the last question is, how long will be the CCA 175 valid? So the CCA 175 is valid for 2 years. Almost all the big data certifications are valid for 2 years. Now I am taking the questions on YouTube live. So Shayan is asking which certification is more preferable with respect to market trends, HDP, CD or CCA 175. So before closing the today's session, I will try to go through all the certifications that are available and share few details with you guys. And if it is first certification, I will recommend CCA 175. But let me explain all the certifications that are available, and then you can make your final decision. Ravi Tej is asking, do we have to write Scala programs or Python for scenario in the exam? Yes, you have to write both Scala as well as Python, but you don't need to write the complete program. You just have to fill in the blanks. So they will give you the code snippet and they will ask questions with respect to Spark. You have to fill few lines of the code, primarily focusing on Spark APIs. Swapnil, many big data engineer jobs ask about building big data pipeline using batch or streaming. What is end-to-end process components to build real-time data pipeline? How real-time data pipeline look like? It's a very good question. What we'll do is I will add it to the next session's agenda. As part of the next session, I will explain what is this real-time data pipeline and what are the skills that are required to build the data pipeline, because it will take at least 15-20 minutes to explain. Okay. So that's it from the questions perspective. Now let me talk about the available certifications as of today in the big data. Also, as part of the next session, also I will start with the same blog. So even if you miss it, that is fine, because it will take some time. And on top of that, I will take this Swapnil's question also about big data pipeline and what are the skills that are required to take care of building the big data pipeline. So on my website itself, I have blogs also. So if you go to the blog, so here I am again explaining about the certifications. If you go to the blog, and there is a certification which there is a blog which I have published few months back, which is Hadoop and Spark Developer Certifications FAQs and Hadoop Certifications Training. So if you click on this FAQs, it will explain all the details about what type of questions, what are general FAQs with respect to the certifications. So what are the skills that will be tested? So these are the skills which they primarily emphasize on in certification exams. Different certification exam covers different aspects of it. Why should one get certified? To promote skills, demonstrate industry recognized validation for your expertise, And more importantly, which is not covered as part of these 4 bullet points, is that it will provide you a focused scope, and it will actually make sure you gain knowledge by preparing for the certification. If you don't have certification, then you will be pulled in all the directions, and down the line after 6 months you will not be accomplishing anything. Okay, and there is a myth in the market saying that technologies are being outdated, which is not 100% true. Technologies will stay for quite some time. There is a myth saying that Apache Flink is trying to replace Spark, or Spark is replacing MapReduce, etc., which is not 100% true. Okay, so don't worry about technologies being outdated. Try to explore the certifications that are available as of today, and try to prepare for those certifications. That way, we'll have a focused scope using which you can learn the skills, and it will make you feel accomplished over time by focusing on the certifications. It is highly relevant when it comes to open source technologies. Otherwise, you will be pulled into many directions, and you will be overwhelmed, and you will not be able to accomplish anything if you don't prepare based on certifications or a particular. So what are the available certifications? So there is CCS Spark and Hadoop Developer, CCP Data Engineer, HDP Certified Developer Java, HDP Certified Developer, HDP Certified Developer Spark, Mapper Certified Hadoop Developer, Mapper Certified HBase Developer, Mapper Certified Spark Developer, and Databricks Certified Developer. So these are the developer certifications. On top of this, we also have administration certifications. Okay, this is the developer certification, so it is only talking about developers. There is another blog which will cover administration also. So this is the cost of different certifications and the duration of them. And also I have emphasized on format of the exam. Most of the certifications from Cloudera and Hortonworks are primarily programming based, whereas Mapper and Databricks, they are objective. Is Java required? For most of the certifications, Java is not required at all. And now the question is choosing the certification exam from available options. If you are already certified in HDP CD Java or CCDH, which is discontinued, then better to go with CCS Spark and Hadoop Developer. It covers Scoop, Flume, Spark, Hive, and Impala. If you already certified on HDP CD without Java, which covers Scoop, Flume, Pig, etc., then if you take CCS Spark and Hadoop Developer, there is a lot of overlap, and it is waste of time and money. For that reason, if you already certified HDP CD on Scoop, Flume, Pig, etc., I will recommend HDP CD Spark or Mapper Certified Spark or Databricks Certified Developer. Okay, so that there won't be any redundancy. If there are no certifications yet, then it will be a good idea to go with CCS Spark and Hadoop Developer, as it covers many Hadoop ecosystem tools as well as core Spark. Okay, so if it is your first certification, I'll recommend CCS Spark and Hadoop Developer. And I have covered how to register for the certification and all. You can go through that. And also, if you click on this Hadoop certifications training, it also talk about the certifications with respect to administrator. Okay, job roles in Hadoop, Hadoop certifications. If you click on this, it will cover administration certifications also. Cloudera and Hortonworks certifications are more popular ones, and I have material on both. I have 100% material on HDP-CA and 80% material on CCAH. We will be covering the gaps very soon. So these are the details about the certifications. So leverage the material which I have. Even though the content is for free, you can ask the questions anytime on discuss.iitversity.com. We are actually building the ecosystem in such a way that there will be moderators who will be clarifying your doubts without me becoming the bottleneck. Okay, So use this platform to ask any questions. You can go to the existing questions also sometimes, and you will be able to get your questions answered. And this session, the bi-weekly session, is primarily to have direct interaction with you folks and try to instill confidence in preparing for the certifications. And sometimes you might have issues which needs to be troubleshooted, doing screen sharing, etc. And this is the session where I will help you to troubleshoot those issues. Okay. So that being said, we are almost done. That's it for today. I will not be taking any more questions. And thank you very much for joining the session. And please share the word. And if you want to be part of this WebEx session, I will share the URL as part of the description once I wrap up the meeting. You can actually click on that link and fill the form, and I will add to the WebEx invite so that you will have the reminder and can join this session every 2 weeks. Okay, so remember the four components on our platform. One is YouTube channel, second one is the website, third one is the forum-based website, and fourth one is the big data labs, which will accelerate your learning to build your career or to transform your career towards big data. Thank you. Bye.